Okay, buenos tardes, amigos, amigas, from the American Legion Post 7 here in Chapala. I met this nice young lady through a friend, and she has also been in San Miguel de Allende. She's lived there for a long time, for years. She's here in the Lake Chapala area, but she goes back to San Miguel de Allende pretty frequently. We're going to talk a little bit about this area, and we're also going to talk about San Miguel de Allende a little bit and our experiences there. Although she has much more, we're going to share a little bit. And this is Johnna. Go ahead, Johnna.
Hi, I'm Johnna. I've lived in Mexico for almost 25 years. 14 of those I actually lived in San Miguel de Allende. I now live in the Chapala area, but I do go back to San Miguel once a week because I am an animal physical therapist and rehab specialist, and I actually have clients over there. So I go back frequently to see my clients and give their treatments. So what would you like to know a little bit about San Miguel?
Well, we were talking about the Quinta Loreto Hotel over there.
Quinta Loreto Hotel has been there for a really long time. It's a really great little hotel. It's kind of off the beaten path, but it's not off the beaten path. It's quiet, but it's like 5 minutes to the centro. It's like 4 or 5 minutes to some really great restaurants, some really nice coffee shops. In behind that, there's also a little housing development that they have little apartments that live in. Quinta has a really good restaurant. Their restaurant's the menu's kind of varied, but it's a great place to stay if you haven't stayed there and you want something close, but you want that old Mexican style charm. It still has that. In the middle of the Quinta, they actually have this square that they actually have rescued parrots and macaws that they let live there on property.
You know what? I want to let the viewers know, I've lived there for 6 months only, compared to Johnna's many years, but they had a thing over there, expat and Mexican residents. They had a discussion. They would see documentaries on Mondays over there in another building in the Quinta Loreto Hotel. They had a small pool there.
Yep, they still do.
And it's really close to Via Organica restaurant right there.
It's really close to Via Organica. It's really close to Juan's Cafe, which is one of the oldest and most popular coffee places. He gets coffee in fresh. He grinds it right there on the spot, and he grinds the blend according to what you want. He's got a beautiful little outdoor patio to sit on, so you can do that. It's, like I said, it's about 5-minute walk to the centro, which you can actually be in the hustle and bustle of everything. But where it's located, it's still got that old, quiet Mexican chill vibe to it, which I was one of the reasons I fell in love with Mexico to begin with.
Yeah, and we were talking about that one intersection near there. They got the tianguis. It goes,
If
like
you start,
down,
if you start to come out of the Quinta Loreto Hotel area, if you go, there's a little bit of set of stairs. If you go down the stairs, there's this beautiful market that you can walk down that runs basically. It's like a sidewalk down underneath the street. And they have all these beautiful artisan shops and stuff in there.
They're great.
And during Christmas, it is the most beautiful thing to see in Christmas because they don't just have the normal stuff, but they have all the Christmas decorations and they have all the unusual gifts that are for Christmas. I loved to walk down there during Christmas time.
Yeah.
And everybody is so pleasant and so accommodating and welcoming. It almost feels like you've lived there your whole entire life.
It is
It's
beautiful.
got that vibe.
Yeah, and what else was I thinking? Some good restaurants in the area.
There's some great restaurants in the area. One of the oldest restaurants there is on the corner of Mesones. It's Mesones and Hernandez Macias, and it's called Tia Lucas.
Okay.
And Tia Lucas has been in his family, Max's family, for almost 40 years. His dad started it. They turned it over to Max. I believe Max still owns it. It's very good. It's a combination of Mexican cuisine, but they also have some very Americanized meals too. But the service is always really good. The food is always amazing. So that's a really good restaurant.
Where did you? Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please.
Where did you live when you lived in San Miguel de Allende? I lived in the San Antonio district.
We lived in a ranch in just outside Alcacer.
Okay.
We lived in a little bitty house in La Palma area, which is up at the top of the
Oh
hill.
yeah, beautiful.
And then we
area.
lived in Guadalupe.
Oh, nice place too.
And then we lived our last 5 years in Los Frailes.
Okay, nice area.
Los Frailes is a really nice neighborhood. It's just outside San Miguel, about 5 minutes.
Yes, isn't that toward by out past La Comer?
It's out past La Comer going towards Celaya.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a really nice hotel there. It's called Hotel Los Angeles. Beautiful hotel, great restaurant there. Los Frailes is it's a quieter neighborhood. It's not as close to the city, but the houses have got really big yards. So if you're an animal lover, which we were, I think at that time we had like 5 dogs. so we needed the yard.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. Now music, you've heard some great music there
They
too.
have some great music there, and San Miguel actually just started a cultural thing here recently where they I think it's once or twice a month, they let people play their music in front of the parochia on the Jardín.
Oh,
and it's
wow.
totally free.
Yeah, because I know when you walk down the street, you hear so many
Street
excellent.
musicians.
They're great.
And, yeah.
Now I used to go to El Tupanambas a lot, and I don't know if you know where that's at, because there's so many places.
Yeah, that one's a good one. I don't know if the Ring was there when you were there.
Maybe it
used to
was.
be a dance place.
Uh-huh.
It's under new ownership. They went in and turned it into a really high-end club, dance place, live music,
Wow.
restaurant. It's really nice.
Yeah. Wow. And some of my favorite restaurants, there's just so many to say. One of them I used to like to go to is Hecho.
Hecho in Mexico is still there. Food is
Yeah.
still fantastic. They haven't changed a bit.
And across the street, Paprika.
Yes, Paprika is still there.
And yeah.
A couple of other ones that probably might have been there when you were there would be
That was 6 years ago.
maybe, I don't know then. The
There's so
Buen
many.
Cafe is still there.
Okay, there's just so many,
Yeah.
many
And
restaurants.
it's interesting because in the middle of Mexico, which you basically are, you can almost find anything that you want to eat. You could almost find any style of music that's your favorite.
Yeah.
And you could almost find any kind of chill place. There's some really beautiful parks in San Miguel. You can just sit if you're a people
Benito
watcher.
Juarez.
Benito Juarez Park,
the most beautiful.
Guadiana Park,
Guadiana Park, another
which
one.
they just put in brand new benches and stuff in.
Wow.
Just redid the walking paths.
I think I
through
want to
it.
go back for a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to go back for a visit. Okay, go ahead. And yeah, and
Oh, and I know for the shopper, the foodie person, they're putting in an HEB. An HEB grocery store.
wow.
And HEB grocery stores in Mexico carry a lot of the stuff from the U.S. that you can't necessarily get. So if you're like one of those foodie people and you like to cook, it won't be long that you might be able to find some of the stuff that you haven't been able to find.
Wow. And then the Mirador.
Oh, the
my God.
Mirador! They just replaced all of the lookouts.
Okay.
So now they're real crystal clear, so you can see all of the city. It's really beautiful.
It is the colors of the buildings.
And right now everything's purple.
Is it?
Purple and red because of the bougainvilleas and stuff.
Oh,
so
okay.
when you look out of it, it's just you can see these pops of red and purple all over the city.
And what else I find fascinating is if you go up the hill more, you're going to be at the mall. I forgot the name of the mall.
La Ciénaga.
Yeah, they have Liverpool there.
We've got a Liverpool. They put a Radio Shack in. There's a Petco in there now. There's a trampoline place where you can go take your kids to play on trampolines. The movie theater, they're putting in a VIP movie theater, which has got the recliner seats and the bar that they serve to you and all of that stuff too. So
Yeah, and then going into the boutiques are
Yeah.
just amazing.
there's some beautiful artisans that still practice their craft and are still really good at it. They haven't lost that. It's been passed through generations of generations of generations, and they still do that.
Yeah, Fabrica, something
Fabrica Aurora. It's
yeah.
on the almost the very end of Calle Aurora. And
Yeah.
they've got some beautiful boutiques and artesian markets in there, as well as a couple of really good restaurants. They just put some restaurants in there.
Yeah, and I used to go a lot to that movie. There's a movie theater in the El Salto hotel. I don't know.
It's still there.
It's still there. It's
They
just-
only do it about once a month now.
Oh, wow. It
And
used to
they
be a-
let people vote on the movie they're going to play.
And it's a good restaurant inside there,
it's
too.
a great restaurant inside.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, and also, they used to have movies every day.
Yeah.
Over there is 28 seats. I counted the seats.
Yeah, now they do it once a month, but they let they actually take public opinion and you vote on what movie they're going to show.
Okay. I saw some great American films, Canadian films, and
Yeah.
also films from foreign films from around the world.
Yeah, they're still doing the jazz festival.
Okay.
They still have Pro Musica, which puts on the operas in the Angela Peralta Theater. And they have just recently started bringing in ballet. So they do have ballet
That's
programs
a beautiful
in there.
the teatro there.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
big.
They just redid it all inside.
Oh wow!
They just
You
restored
know
it.
what? I'm thinking about going back for a while, a little bit, for a visit. Now, wow, there's so many things you could say. I used to go do karaoke at Don Lupe's.
Don Lupe is still there.
Okay.
He's moved. He moved more outside the city, but he does do karaoke night. He does 2-for-1 burger nights, 3-for-1 taco nights. So,
Wow.
and he's got a shuttle service to take you in and out.
Very nice, clean, authentic Mexican food, and then going back towards Central. Talk about music. St. Paul's.
St. Paul's Church is still there.
Yep, and they have music there. I
They
used to
have
see.
live music there. Yeah, they still do.
I saw jazz guitarists there. Just
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
amazing.
They do.
okay, all right. So, anything else you want to say? If you were to go back, where would you probably prefer to live right now? If you were to stay there full time.
If I was to move back to San Miguel full time, I think I would like to live in Los Frailes. Only because
Nice.
it's really literally only 5-minute drive from Los Frailes to La Comer grocery store.
Oh, it's close.
Which is right there. But it would allow me to have a big enough home with a big enough yard for my zoo. I
Yeah.
have 8 rescue dogs, 7 rescue cats, 4 birds, and a fish tank. So
Wow.
I would need space.
And the mountains there. When you go to La Comer, you can see the mountains right there.
Oh, and there are some new hiking groups. They just put in new hiking trails and stuff up and through the mountains. So there's new hiking groups that you can go.
You should be a relocation expert for San Miguel de Allende because you know everything.
I would definitely recommend going to see it. It's beautiful. The history in San Miguel is amazing. Like they just uncovered the tunnels that were used during the revolution here. The tunnels that ran from San Miguel to Dolores Hidalgo before the revolution. They actually uncovered a section of the tunnel that is still structurally sound enough that they're actually going to start tours for it.
Wow.
They're actually going to let you go on tours
there.
for that.
I gotta go back there. Their cultural centers are great. I went to. There's a couple of bibliotecas there.
Yeah.
I went to the one on Insurgentes. I don't know if it's still there.
The one on Insurgentes is still there.
Yeah, I took 4 sessions in Spanish.
Yeah,
there.
they still do the Spanish classes.
Okay.
They do them in 2 different sections. They do classes, and they do language exchange classes where you've got a basic understanding. You can go in and you speak in Spanish and they speak in English or vice versa, whatever it is that you need in those classes.
And I gotta believe you're fluent. Close to it.
I'm close to it. My sister used to be my interpreter, and one day she just said, I'm not doing it anymore. So.
Okay. But you are close to it. I heard you speak some Spanish. You
Yeah, I can get
speak
around.
very well.
I can get around. So.
Yeah, so.
But it's nice in San Miguel. It's not a requirement. So if you're looking for vacation spots, not only is Chapala-Johnna an option, which I would definitely recommend, but San Miguel is also an option because it's not a requirement for you to be fluent in Spanish.
Yeah, and a little bit of the history.
The history is amazing.
I spoke about it on this channel about Sterling Dickinson and how the expats first started going there. There were a lot of
the history even goes back. It's richer than that. I mean, the scream was done on the steps in the parroquia. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
so the scream is the scream that started the revolution.
Yeah.
That's where the revolution started. Was the speech that was given was actually given on the steps of the church in the Centro in San Miguel.
Beautiful parroquia. One of the most beautiful I ever saw.
And they just restored it.
Wow.
They just got done with the restoration
A lot of
about
artists.
6.
A lot of artists like to go there and paint.
Yes.
there.
There's a huge artist community. There's a huge jewelry making community. There's a lot of writers that live there.
Oh, yes.
It's very an artistic vibe, very an artistic feel. So if you're that
Yeah.
kind of person, it's a great place for you to live.
Yeah, I used to go to these literary workshops
Mm-hmm.
where authors would show up, Mexican and authors from the U.S. They'd show up, talk about their book. It
Yep.
was a meet and greet. I used to buy books there. They'd sign the books, talk. Quite a diverse
Yeah.
type of things. A lot of things going on there now. Also, I was just thinking also about the Berlin Bar. Is it still
Berlin
there?
is still there.
Quite
And
a
believe
thing.
it or not, the Cucaracha is still open.
Oh, wow.
You know, the Cucaracha has been like a icon in San Miguel for longer than I have been in Mexico. It is owned by a family. It is a dive bar. Don't go in there expecting there's going to be some 5-car Starbucks. It doesn't open till 11. They don't close till 3. It's one of the few bars in San Miguel that's allowed to stay open that late. But you should visit it at least one time.
Uh-huh.
It's one of those iconic kind of things.
I don't think I've been there. But
It is on the corner of Zacatecas and La Hernandez Macias before
Okay.
it makes the curve.
Okay, I know where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't open till 11. So
Wow. And then, the old Beat Generation. There were some Beat Generation writers and poets that used
there
to
still
go.
are. Most of them, if they're
Well,
not,
the
if
old
they haven't
ones.
passed, they're still there.
They'd be quite old now. But
They're actually
it's maybe other poets.
Maybe.
that
I know there are
that
poets.
influenced.
That's the really nice thing about the artistic community there is they kind of pass down their knowledge
Yeah.
to those that are coming up. So
Yeah.
they never really, you never really lose them.
Yeah.
They just take the information and they tweak it a little bit to make it their own.
Yeah. But I think it was, I forgot, I can't think of it offhand. So the Beat Generation poets or writers used to go down there in the
Oh, yeah.
50s, and one of them they found dead on the railroad tracks somewhere. I can't remember all the history of it, but I know. I won't say anything because I don't want to make a mistake, but I do know. Just
Yeah.
it's not fresh in my memory. So anything else? Hey, this is fun. This is a fun
Like
interview.
I said, I still think that if San Miguel, if you're ever going to visit Mexico, I still think it should be on one of your lists to visit. They did open some really nice vineyards around San Miguel, so that's new. And actually, some of the wine that come out of the vineyards is some really good wine. It's really good. They're on the way between San Miguel de Allende and Celaya.
Okay, right near Las Freitas, I think. Is that correct?
Just passed.
Just past
Yeah.
Las Freitas.
Yeah.
Okay, this is quite a. Wow, I'm learning. You kept me updated with this. I want to say thank you. Thank you
You are
so
most
much.
welcome.
And it's a pleasure to meet you.
You as
and-
well.
and,
And Feliz Navidad para todos.
Okay.
Y muchos abrazos para todos.
Okay, gracias. And mucho gusto. And
You
thank
as
you.
well.
Thank you very much. All right, bye-bye.